changing time. Okay, good evening, everyone. Well, welcome to today's class. I'm so sorry for the changing time. So next week, hopefully, would do 5 o'clock. I didn't want it to be too late into the night, like we had it last week. But so sorry I missed the prayer timing for the Muslim brethren. But next week I'll keep to time. I just had a little bit of some things to settle before the training time. Thank you so much for your understanding. So we are continuing with Smashbot today. And so last week we touched it on the surface, but we touched almost all areas of Smashbot. But today we are going to go fully and then start. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen.
We can see your screen, ma.
Okay, great. Okay, so like we did last week, to get to Smashbot is just for you to Google Smashbot. And just, I'm sure many of you have registered. If you have registered on Smashbot, please indicate on the chat area. If you already have created an account for yourself and you have practice what we did last week, please indicate in the chat area. I want to know how many of us. Anyone? Yeah, thank you, Abdullah. I've seen your practice. I'm going to look into it further after tonight's training. Is it just Abdullah? Who are the other people on the call? Wow. What about Shola Yemi? Have you been able to register an account for yourself? Hello, Shola Yemi, are you there? Oh, you haven't. Okay, you can do that as we. But were you in last? You can unmute. Please unmute and speak. Were you in last week's class?
Good evening, ma. No, I wasn't in last class.
Oh, okay. And you're not able to watch the recorded video?
No, I'm not. I just got back today, so I will go through it.
Okay. Okay, so what about Yanudesu Akinyefa? Have you created a Smashbot account? Have you registered an account for yourself? Okay, so is this saying, oh, he has left? Okay. Okay, so not to waste our time, to register an account for yourself is very easy. Just go to the URL smashbot.me. If you can't remember the URL, just search for Smashbot on Google, then click to register. So once you register an account for yourself, you can then log in to create a chatbot tool. It's very straightforward to create is just the concept of logic, flows, right? So once you create, you can even create an account with your Google ID if you don't want to create a username and password, or with your Facebook login. So that's that. So once you have been able to create an account, then you can log in. So I'm just going to go back now and log in. So Smashbot is a very interesting tool. Last week we created a chatbot from templates and we tested it. It was working fine. We created a customer service chatbot for requesting for menu from a catering service. So, and then give us an assignment to continue that particular task, create a customer service chatbot from the same template and customize it for any catering service you know. But I'm not seeing any feedback from that assignment. Okay, so once you log into the chatbot, once you register and you log into Smashbot, which is a tool for creating a chatbot, you see your interface like this on the screen. So on your left is your menu, and on your right is your dashboard. We've touched on this menu last week. So the most important menu you need to know is your bots and your reports. So today I'm going to teach you how to get the feedback of all the chatbot messages that come into your chatbot. I'm going to show you that. Last week I showed you how to create a chatbot from templates and how to deploy it, right, and to test it. So that's, but for today we are going to create from scratch, and then we are going to test it and then get the messages out from the report. So if you are not around in last week class and you've not watched the video, please I beg you, watch the video and practice what I did in that video. Then also do your own practice, right? Then today's own, creating from scratch, you can create yours as well from scratch, and you can integrate chatbots into other applications. I'm going to show that to us again this week. So let's go into the chatbot. So create your bot. You need to go to the second menu, which is my bot menu. So three most important menus that you need on this Snap bot. You need my bots, you need reports, and then you need documentation to check for help, um, and so on and so forth. Then you definitely see your name here for your profile, right? But most of the things you do, you find them in my bots, and then the reports. So if you want to create plugins for those who know advanced programming, you can create plugins here for your chatbot. You can even connect your chatbot APIs. I'm teaching you just um, basic to mid-level understanding of how to create chatbots, which is a very important tool. You can create chatbots for, and almost every business these days, require chatbots. So you can leverage on this tool to create chatbots, and you can also use it for personal use, for collecting information. Okay, so under my bots, um, you would see the bots that you have created, right? These are some of the bots I've created in recent times. If you want to create the bot from a template, like I showed you last week, then you have to click, of course, you have to click on create bot. These are various templates, but the first one is to create from a blank bot. But these are various templates, right? For various purposes. Last week, we used the customer support bot. Then if you want to see how the bot works, you can just click on use. Once you click on use, it's going to load it for you. And if you click on demo, it's going to demo the template for you. But for today, let's click on blank bots to create our own bot from scratch. So let's create a bot. So last week we created a bot for customer support. Today, let's create a bot for, let's say, a bank customer, right? For a bank, let's create a bot for a bank. So let's click here. So once you click on blank bot, you need to register the bot, like, okay, the name, the description. If you want to put, if there's a logo for that business, you can put the logo here, right? And before you register it. And you can also create bots in various languages, right? These are different languages for which the bot is available. Okay, so let's create a simple bot. Let's call it let's call it Apex Bank. Let's assume there's a bank like. Okay, cool. So Apex Bank customer service, and then let's call it a customer service assistant for answering bank customers queries. Right, so it's in English. Let's just put in any logo for this. Let me use this one. Okay, and then you click on create. So it's as simple as that. Okay, so once you click on, once you create your bot, it opens up a blank environment for you like this. Remember, once you are in the bot creation part of your Smashbot, you have 3 windows. The first one has the menu, the second one has your interactions, and then the third one shows the details of your interaction, right? Immediately you create your interaction, you see your bot pop up here, with which you can test your chatbot. So let's go on now to create our bots. Now, for you to create your bots, it's always good for you to know things like what are the frequently asked questions. You know, you want to create a bot for customers. So what are the likely questions they might ask? And then in what progression are they likely to ask those questions? So that's like a background work that you need to do, right? And then once you've done that, you can then create the interactions and then the flows of your interactions. So first of all, for a bank customer, interacting bots, the first thing you want to know is what is the name of the customer, right? So, or you want to greet the customer first, because the bot now is assuming to be the customer service staff. So you need to imagine the bot as the customer service staff, and that the bot is talking to a customer, right? So our first interaction will be that of a statement. It should be that of a statement to greet the customer. So to do that, I'm going to use the bot statement menu. So just click on the bot statement and then click add. Okay, so the message that you want displayed to the customer, you are going to put that here, right? So let's say to start with, you can say hello. So I'm the customer service operator. I'm the customer service staff. If I want to speak to a customer, I need to address by greeting the customer first. I can say hello. So most bank chatbots, they usually give it a name. And because I'm using a logo of a guy, so I can say my name is
Yeah.
so I can say my name is Jade. I am the customer service official for Apex Bank. Please, how may I be of assistance to you today? So this can be my first statement, right? And I can say, so please, how may I be of assistance to you today? I need to provide options, or I can allow the customer to type. But for this one, I want to provide options. So to provide the options, right, you go to your connections. So what are the options I want to provide? So a customer can walk in to say, I want to check account balance. What other thing can they do with customer service? So let's start with account balance. So if I want this as one word, there's a limit to the, okay, so let's do this account balance. Okay. So I want this as one option. So I'm going to say enter after typing. Then, would you like to add connection? Say yes. So you want to extract whatever the customer clicks. So to do that, click on, okay, if the customer clicks this response to interaction, contains all parts, account balance. So this is simple logic. If whatever the customer clicks contains the whole word account balance, then go to, we are going to create the interaction data. So we haven't created it. So, okay, so before we put in this connection, let's create the next connection, next interaction that we should go to, right? So customers can check their balance, right? They can also create an account. They can also create accounts. Come back to you later. What other thing can they do? They can also collect cards. So customers can go to customer service to want to collect cards. They can also report fraud. So these are some of the things that customers need to do. Oh no, let's not say report fraud. So let's cancel. Let's say complain. They can also come to complain. Complain. Okay, so let's do one more. They can also, what other thing can a customer do at customer service? Bank customer service. Okay, so they can also close account, right? Okay, let's leave it as that. Right, so for each of these interactions, for each of these options rather, you want it to branch into a next interaction. So we're going to create the kind of interaction you want it to branch into. So these are the various types of interactions, right? So let's pick another bot statement. So if a customer wants to know their account balance, the next thing you want to know is their account details, their name and their account number, right? So in the next interaction, sorry, let's give this interaction name a proper name so that greetings. So these are first interaction is a greeting. Our next interaction is so for this one, we want to request account. Ask account name and ask account number. Next one, I can say and rename ask account number. So for account balance, for create account, okay. For collect cards, okay, I'll need to ask for address for card collection. Ask customer address. The reason I'm changing the interaction name is so that I can easily know the interaction and what it does. So if I'm registering a new account, I want to be able to collect their email. So I'm going to ask for email. Since I'm asking for email, I'll use the interaction type for collecting email. I'm going to show you why that is important as we go on. So ask customer email. Please confirm that you can all hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so we can also use this for address. Let's use this. So for this, I want to ask customer address. I'm trying to use as many different type of interaction as possible so you can spot the difference of how they work. So this for address. For creating a new account, I'll need the customer's date of birth. So I would ask for date, rename, ask for date of ask customer DOB, date of birth. What other options I have here? So, okay, then to make a complaint, my complaint can fall into different categories. Right, so I don't want to generalize the complaint. So let's create many options for complaint. So for that one, I'm going to use statement. So I want to change the name. So here I'll say select complaint. This is just a name. This doesn't mean anything. I'm only making the name something I can easily remember. Select complaint. Right. Okay, no, for this select complaint, I want to use a number. Yes, I want to use a number for this one. So I'm going to delete this. I'll explain why I want to use a number. So I'm going to use collect number. Interaction type. So I'm changing this and then select complaint. Right, so let me see, complaint, close account. Okay, there for close account, people should provide reason. So let's use a but statement and say, okay. So let's use a but statement for this one of providing reasons for wanting to close account. So let's change this. This would be reasons for closure. Okay, so I want to pick another type of interaction. Okay, so let's pick this live agent. So if we want the customer to speak further to a live agent, then we use this. Rename, speak to an agent. Right. So chatbots also work somehow like this dial-in phones that you call and then they request for, okay, what would you like to do? And if you can't find the options, they allow you to speak to an agent. So it's a flow, it's a workflow. You must understand your flow and what you want, what you preempt that customers will choose. Then if they are frequently asked questions as well, you can use that frequently asked questions as your workflows. So okay, so let's see. Let me put one interaction for let's call this FAQ. So this is an FAQ. And then we'll program that together. So in my greetings here, so I've provided options of what customers might likely want to do. Let me provide one other option to say, in case you don't have your option among these 5, you can let me just call it ask a question. Okay, so let's quickly see what we have. We haven't connected the flow to the others, but let's just see what we have for this first interaction. And to see that, all you just need to do is to click on your logo on your bottom right hand. So as soon as you create the first interaction, the logo that you added as a picture pops up at your bottom right hand. And this logo is used to test your chatbot. So once you click on the logo, it's going to log your chatbot for you. So you can see this is the chatbot that we have created, right? But it's not going to show us the menu yet. Let's go back to complete the menu. Right, so each of this menu, we need to link it up to another interaction. So for a statement, right, we have used a statement bot here. For a statement bot, you see your bot messages, right? This is where, please take note of the additional menus that come up on the right for each of your interaction types. So for a statement, you have your bot messages, you have cards, you have connections, you have automations, you have configures, right? So you can configure each interaction to send email. You can add external attributes to your email, right? So let's say on clicking the interaction, you want it to send an email with the name of the logged on user. You can do that with send email and add attributes here, right? But the two most important menu I want to show you is the bot message and the connections. So for cards, it depends if you want to load image instead of text. So if you want your interaction to contain an image instead of text, or maybe a different kind of text instead of the general font type used, then you can load from cards. But most importantly, the message is fine if you want just the normal font. So within the message, you also have some menus up here, right? I'm going to show us how we can use this menus as we go on today. But let's just move on quickly to, first of all, complete this bot, test it, then we can improve it using the various menus that we have within this. So for this now, you can see you have the message here. Now for the connections, let's link each of these connections to the next interaction. That's to the next workflow. So for account balance, right? So if a customer wants to check their account balance, what are the details they need to provide? They need to provide their account name and their account number. So I'm going to link this option to these two interactions. So how do I do that? Let's come here. So just scroll down a little. So once you have clicked on this interactions, scroll down and then click on add connection. Right, so for this particular interaction, I'm going to say when response, sorry, where am I going? Okay, good. So when response to this contains this old word,
Hello, please, you can't hear anything. Hello, ma. We can't hear you, ma. Hello, ma. We can't hear you, ma.
hello, sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I think
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Yeah,
Yes, ma.
okay, I was hearing an echo. I don't know. I think
Okay, ma.
now. Okay, so I want to add the condition statement to each of these menus. I want it to pop up here, but if it's not going to pop up, then I'm going to create that connection again. Okay, so let's just type it in. So when response to this interaction, let's delete this.
excuse me, ma.
Yeah, I'm with you.
From the video I watched about the last class, I think we are meant to be adding the new reply. Then we'll click enter. Then it will
Yeah,
bring out.
I don't want, because I already created the replies, I don't want to recreate it. So another way to do that is to just type in the keywords. So instead of it creating it automatically for us, so we just type in the keywords. Or if there's a unique keyword to it, we can type that in. So when this response contains this O word, right, then go to, so we want you to ask account name, right? So it goes to this interaction, right? Then this connection is saved, is automatically saved, right? If you want to add another connection, so for each of these menus, I want to add connection to it. So I'm going to add connection. So this is connection 2, you can see, right? So let's see, response to this interaction again contains the whole word, then we type in the word we want. Create account. Then just click on this plus sign so it can bring out the condition statement for you. So what this part contains is, let's say you want to be able to pick similar words. That, okay, if it contains that word or similar word, but in this case, we want the exact word. We want create account. We don't want any similar words. So once you see this, just click on cancel, then come down here and pick the interaction you want. So for create account, for me to create account, the first thing I also want to know is what is the account name for which I should create that account, right? So I can tie one interaction to, I can tie many menus to one interaction, which is what I'm doing here. So whether create account, whether check balance, the next question I want to ask is account name. So account name, for collect cards to account name. So in fact, the general way we can do this is to say, okay, there's no general word to use. So for each of these, we're going to create a new connection. If this contains what's the third one? Collect cards, complain. Okay, so collect cards, close account. Okay. Close account. So you can see I'm tying all of this to the same menu, except for 2. So I have four connections now for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for complain, I want you to go to select complain, right? So if I click on complain, I want you to take me to select complain. So I'm going to create a different interaction for that. I'll just scroll down and say add connection. So your connection are like your branches to your leaves. So when response to this interaction contains the O word contains complain, or I can even say if part word contains any part complain. So if it contains complaint, it should take me to ask, select complaint, right? So I have 5 interactions. So for the 6th one, 5 connections. For the 6th one, ask a question. When I click on ask a question, I want it to take the customer to FAQ. So I'm going to scroll down, add connection. If response to this interaction contains FAQ, then go to FAQ, right? So once you have put in the connection, if you check, you see the options, right? And then customers can click to pick an option. Okay, so let's run quickly. So we've done for the first, you can close this. We've done for the first one. The next interaction. So once you have a connection on your interaction, you see this connection button turn green. Then this first button, I'm going to show you what is used for. This checkbox, I'm going to show you what is used for once we're through with this chatbot. So the next question is ask account name. So I was here before, I've created connections for it, and then I have my bot message. This is my message. So I come to the next one. I don't have any bot message yet. So ask for account name. So what do you want to display? So you say, please, can I have your account name, right? Okay, so you want the customer to type in the message, right? So once you put this, the customer sees it and then they type. So for this, we're not going to create any connection because they are not, you don't want your customer to click anything. So for this, connection is going to be empty. But I want this account name to take the customer to the next question. So after requesting for account name, what is the next thing I want to request for? Account number. So I'm going to create that connection here, but I'm not going to create an option. There's no option, right? But I want to create a connection. So for this, I'm just going to come to fallback connection. So you have two categories of connection. You have conditional connection, you have fallback connection. So on fallback connection, it means that irrespective of whatever the customer does, take the customer to the next question. So fallback connection here would be ask for account number. So every interaction must link up. If they don't link up, your chatbot will be broken. So you must link every of your interactions. So this connection is done. I'm going to come to my next one. So so from account name, link to account number. So we'll come to ask account number. So account number, once the customer has provided first of all, let's put in the message. What message do you want the customer to see? So the message would be, okay, so this account number, I want it to just be digits. I don't want it to have letters inside of it. So I'm going to change this interaction. I can't change it, so I have to delete it and create another one. So I'm going to add, change it to number, to digits. Account number. Okay. Okay, so I can move it up, but wherever it is doesn't matter. It can be down, it can be up. Just make sure that you are linking up the interactions correctly. Now you'll notice that this is showing red. It was showing green before, now it's showing red. It's showing red because the interaction it was formerly connected to has been deleted, and then I created a new one. Now, every interaction you create carry a unique ID by the number in the bracket. You can see a number in the bracket. So every interaction has a unique ID. So if you delete an interaction and you recreate it, it comes with a new ID. So in the places that you have created it as connection, you have to go back there and make the changes appropriately. So I'm going to come back to connection and okay, so that's account. Okay. So the reason it's complaining is because account name that is linked to account number no longer have account number. So we need to sort it out from this point, not from written. So from account name, let's come back and pick the new interaction. Right, so close account. Did I pick account number here? Okay, so let's come here. Connection is broken. So I think I picked account number here as well. So let's change this to account name. Should actually be account name. Okay, so we have our connections both green. So for account number, we want the customer to provide their account number. So please kindly provide your 10 digits account number. Right, so immediately they put in the details. You also want them to link to the next thing. Right, so so having provided the account number for checking account balance, the next thing you want to do is to display their account balance. So how do you do that? Then it has to be linked to the details that will provide that, which we don't have. But in this case, we can just provide a message to say, please provide your email. We can, and then the details has been sent to your email. So let's pick email. So let's link this up to ask customer email. So we're going to assume that this will be sent to the email, right? So we have done that connection. So now on that email, the details you have requested will be sent to your mobile and email. you for banking us. Right. Then I can put a space here. Chat bubbles, delayed response. And this XXS, I can say delay for 2 seconds. Then I will say provide another email. Provide email. Provide the okay, so let's request customer email here. Right. So and having provided the email, you want it to end the chatbot. So let's have one more interaction to say to end the chatbot. So we can just say the end. The end. Right. So what message do you want the end to have? You can say thank you for banking with us. Putting a little bubble, delay for like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Then bye for now. Okay, so this is the end point. Let me change this message. Okay, so from this connection, having provided the email, you want it to go straight to the end. So do nothing but just take the customer to the end. Right. So so let's come back here. So we've done for account balance and for create account, they'll go through the same steps. For collect cards too, they should go through the same step. Then for complain, you want the customer to go to SC wasn't complain. Okay, so for complaint, the customer goes to select complaint. So let's go to select complaint and put in the details. So under select complaint, there could be different options of complaint. So for us to do that, we can provide the customer options. So we can say, please select the category of your complaint. Right. So in this case, I want to provide written options. So I can say, what kind of complaint can people have? I can say, like the card, stolen card. Stolen card. Or no, let's make it general. Let's say card complaint. Card complaint. People have come to card and ATM withdrawal and card complaints. So I can provide the options this way. I can also say bank charges. Complaint. Bill payments. Let's say I made payments and I'm unable to SMS. Okay, alert. Bank alert. Complaints. Let's just put one more. Transfer. So let's say bank transfer complaints. Those are different complaints that people might have. So you display the options and then you ask or you allow the customer to pick a value. So you can use this method, especially if your names are quite long. If it contains any text. So here I'm just going to say 1, 2. So I can also link each of these to an interaction, but in this case, I don't want to. I just want to know the complaint and then link them up to a customer service